All right, let's get the tones. Hello, everybody. One. We do it in threes, you know. Oh, those were solid today. Far out. Hello, Trina. How are you?
Hi, Wayne. I'm good. How are you?
I'm excellent, as they would say. If I was any better, I'd be guilty, but then I was never that
I
innocent.
love it.
uh, so it's so good to see you. Welcome, everyone. Man, 29 watching. Well, the number's going up. That is my number. I play it on roulette all the time, but I digress. So just invoking great favor in our audience today, Trina. May there be nothing missing, nothing broken found in your life. And we speak full restoration over you. So, and happy birthday. And those having an anniversary. Hello. So, Trina, how are you, my dear?
I'm great.
Excellent. Excellent. You're looking fabulous as always.
Well, thank you. I'm excited again to get into more coffee with Wayne. I love it.
Well, I think this one is going to be one of those sessions, and I really like it. It's really just kind of little coffee time,
Yeah.
wherever you are in the world.
Yeah.
um, Speaking of which, tomorrow I will be on an hour late. So just to let everyone know. And Friday night, Nick Gruel will be on, and looking forward to that. Saw him over there on Brian's channel, Milky Way Messenger, where I see you frequently.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's such a great family.
Yeah. I really like this. I mean, it's like, I think that it's well balanced.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
bravo for Brian in not making it simply an all testosterone environment.
Yeah. It's beautiful too. And there's so many great people. It's just, like I said, it's a family within a
Yeah.
family. And I
Yeah.
just see the family growing, and it's so beautiful.
It is growing, and it
Mhm.
is beautiful. Hello, all of you moderators. How are you? I'm thinking about something here, Trina. So just to let you know, and if I can stop it right there. So get up. Well, I better stop driving the car while I'm trying to operate this thing at the same time.
Hey, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, because this is not working out there. There we go. I'll tend to that later. I was trying to do something, but it didn't work out. So how are you doing? I think I asked that question, but yeah, everything going good?
It's going good. Lots of energy, lots of things.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting all this crazy past stuff is coming up. And I think it's time to heal and clear a lot of our old stuff. And it's definitely a powerful time energetically.
Lot going on. Lots going
Yeah.
on. Is
Yeah. And we
Kent?
just have the equinox, time to balance.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, for us, it's actually today, I think, is actually, 12 hours daylight and sunlight.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Hello, Hadley. Good to see you. Rob, Cajun, Queen, Miss Lois, Joe Sapien. So good to see you. Letitia, loving Lolly loving. Got that backwards. Hey, Brian. Speaking of the man himself, Susie Q. I want to know, April, how are you doing? Is Kent in the room? Let's see. I want to wait to see, Trina. Can you see the chat?
I'm getting on it right now.
Okay, I'm just trying to see if Kent, if you are here. I'll just wait. We'll do the Jeopardy song. Do do do. I'll take I'll take Kent Cook for 1,000, please, Alex.
Absolutely.
May we see the shirt? Yes, the shirt is today the thinking out of the box, because we've got to begin to think out of the box, Trina.
Yes.
I had the strangest freaking dream last night, and I don't know if they're the bells, the chimes going, there you go. Woo! Anyway, what can we say? It is what it is.
Oh, it
And
is. It's so weird. It's always timing. It's about timing. And even when it's
yes,
off, it's still right.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And anyway, I don't know. The dreams have been getting much more intense. Something is afoot. We keep saying that, but I woke up and I asked myself this question. All right, why is it we can't seem to solve our problems? And it's just not modern, man. I mean, yeah, we seem to have a multiplicity of problems, but I don't know. You look all the way back in history, humanity just seems to have a problem. We're solving problems that we create.
Yep.
Yeah. What do
And
you think?
it's I've always wondered that since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
And it was funny. They would explain it to me in a very simple way to where I could process it. And what I was shown was that like this human form that we have through a lot of different modifications has become more like a puppet
Mm.
instead of a free-willed spirit. And that's just because of the programs and the genetic modifications, the shortening of the lifespan. There was they showed me a lot of changes done to us as a species.
Yeah.
And I think now we're starting to remember all of those ancient parts of us that were intentionally shut down and broken to make us compliant. And through the process of information, they kept us in line.
Well, that's a very excellent breakdown of that word. I like that, being in formation. So
Information.
true. Well, hello, Martin. Good to see you. We have from all the way across the ocean. Well, let me just finish out with Kent. Kent, um, I I wanted to see in here because I wanted to get confirmation before I spoke this, but I guess you have left out. I know you were there earlier. But what I saw on your tumor, sir, was on the right side lower quadrant of the spine itself. And I just want to say to you on this one, what I spoke to it was specifically that your body is turning bitter to it, sour. It can't feed off of you anymore. And have no fear, my friend. You're going to come out just fine. We speak favor over you. We speak protection, and we speak healing. And that energy, words have energy. If there's one thing that we learned from Mr. Insider, Trina, of the family, that written words have as much effect as spoken words. So I wrote it down. I showed Trina before we ever started. And so, Kent, you hear this later, let me know. I'll answer your email. And speaking of emails, folks, I know they're backed up.
You know what we could all do right now too? Focus on, just focus, see the tumor in the back and then see it completely dissolving itself, filling with the
Yeah.
light, dissolving itself. And that light is producing oxygen, and the oxygen is just bathing the entire spine and the body and everywhere, anywhere and anywhere that it needs it. Light it up with light so it'll burst, and that bursting produces oxygen, and cancer doesn't like oxygen at all. So
Yeah. It
and
may
see it
be, in
done.
fact, the cure that sits right in front of us that, but who are we?
Oh, I
Yeah,
know.
let's just take a second and I don't know what Kent looks like, but I do know.
Let's send healing to everybody and
Yeah,
focus on him, but let's send it to
yeah,
everybody. Why
yeah.
not bring up a few miracles for the day?
Hey, I'm all for that. So, folks, it's kind of just right now, as you're chatting away, as you're listening, just kind of close your eyes for a second and just see us all standing there hand in hand. A circle is what completes the circuit. And we'll just put Nick Kent in the center of this, and we'll just direct healing and, encouragement. I love the word encouragement. It means to be encouraged. So you're going to fight this thing. You're going to win this thing. You already have. It's already been decided.
Miracles.
That's what and Kent, I expect a good report. I
Yeah.
expect you to come back here and you tell us exactly how this went. And I think you're going to be mighty surprised, my friend. We,
You know, one
go
of
ahead.
our people, Jerry Runk in our community, he was diagnosed with cancer, and he literally has been working on it with his mind and different modalities of different natural things. And he just went back to the doctor to go possibly be entertaining surgery, and he's cancer free.
Excellent, excellent, excellent.
I'm
I
like,
think
yay,
that's,
Jerry.
listen, good news is good news, folks.
Yes.
You know, we all have a departure date, but
Yeah.
I'd like to leave on my terms. You
Yeah.
know, I'm serious.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, where is it written that when I'm ready to go, you know, it's what I loved about that movie, Mr. Megorium and His Wonderful
Yeah.
Emporium. That movie was so profound, and Dustin Hoffman, when he played that, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. And I love it, Trina, because he knew when it was his time.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
And he just stepped right through.
you know, I've said this before, but we've seen many of the Hindu priests in other cultures as well. They know the gift of dying, of departure.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I have been planning in my mind that when that time is, I'm going to go to sleep. Literally, I'm going to go physically asleep, and I'm going to wake up in the next dimension.
Yeah, that's what both of my grandmas did.
My grandmother as well.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, why not? I mean, why not?
Yeah. I mean, where is it written that we have to go by disease?
Yeah, I think if it's only written, it's because you wrote it.
Exactly. I mean, that is the point. I have not seen it written that thou shalt not, you know, go when thou shalt want to go.
And I think that's the thing, is I think so many of us have all of these contracts that we're not really aware of. And I think, you know, many of those contracts can be rewritten.
Now I got to get Sovereign Key back on, because, you know, it's that.
I love her.
Oh yeah, fabulous, fabulous.
You know what's really weird, Wayne? Before I'd ever seen one of her videos, I literally had a vision of her, and I drew a picture of it, and I literally wrote on it Sovereign Key.
Wow.
With the K-I.
Yeah.
Literally with the K-I.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was in my book from like 2009. I was like, whoa.
Wow.
And there was a portal. Oh, it was interesting.
No doubt.
Yeah, it was like, whoa. I like this girl and I somehow, we are already connected, and I have no idea.
Oh, she has just remarkable insights, and you know, particularly where I think there ought to be a very plain spoken symposium where, you know, it could be broadcast, that where we could understand what are contracts, B, how do we get ourselves involved into them, and 3, do we have an advocate? Do we have a counselor that can help us litigate out of them?
You know what I saw, Wayne, when I was I remember writing my contract with the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a round table with like 5 or 6 different people, and they all knew me like as well as I knew myself.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and we were planning it out. But see, there's options there because we do have free will. So there's so many potentials for your contract. Your contract can express itself in a million different ways. But you wrote a basic script. You wrote a basic plan. And like I said, it has a million options. And I think one of them I knew was to not make it into this physical reality so I could skate out on the whole opportunity.
Yeah, how did that work out?
I didn't work that out.
Not quite so well. And you know,
I know if you're going. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, fine. But
and I'm probably asking the question of the common person going, well, okay, that's fine and well, but I can't remember that. I don't remember of any kind. I don't remember being at any table, you know, but Yeah, I mean, um, my former religion, one of the things that I knew about was the legality.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing about Judaism, as it is with Islam, is a highly legalistic ideology.
You know, I never knew about any of that stuff, but when I was doing sessions with people and they were
Hmm.
working with the deceased, you know, they were working with people who had already passed. The information that was coming back on these contracts was total confirmation for me that these contracts existed. And I don't know if that maybe I was able to, they were pulling this information out because I would understand it. I don't know. But like suicides, the biggest disappointment was that they broke their contract.
Hmm.
So it was like they knew they were going to have to come back real soon. And this was like consistent because a lot of people, they have a lot of problems with suicide. The pain with the ones left behind is pretty brutal. So yeah, I've done a few sessions
All
with stuff like
alone
that.
naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hear the song in my head.
But you know, it's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing too, Wayne, though, because like I had a mom who her daughter shot herself in the head and she walked in the room while it was happening.
Mm.
So she had night terrors for like a year and a half straight. She couldn't sleep at night. She was losing
Well,
weight.
that'll break your psyche.
It did. It
Yeah.
just rocked her. So, and
Yeah.
we did one session and she got to talk to her daughter and it was the most beautiful experience and it completely healed them both and they discussed that. And then she got to tell her about how they had done stuff in past lives together. That was profound.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was amazing. And I was like, wow. And yeah, it was just beautiful. But the night terror stopped and everything in 1 hour.
Good, good, good. That's
Yeah,
powerful. You
yeah.
know, it in suicide is a very sensitive subject.
Yeah.
And
Oh God, yeah.
I have
Yeah.
seen on the other side that it's not what we have been indoctrinated with. Those are the souls that what I call them is simply soul sick.
And also too, highly psychic and
Hmm.
highly empathic.
Hmm.
And this world is just so much for them to take. They literally short circuit.
And again, it's kind of goes into why we can't solve, is it impossible? Is our theme. This is why, and it's just my belief, that
Mhm.
the true art of magic, if it was taught more broadly without the taboo associated with it, we could help so many
Mhm.
of these tormented souls because I do believe, like you, I think the vast majority are empaths
Oh
and
yeah.
they have a common, I think they're seers,
Yes.
healers.
Yes.
No, that sounds contradictory, doesn't it? That healer would commit suicide, but yeah.
No. They told me the most profound healers would be the wounded healers.
Hmm.
They would be the ones that have had to actually heal their own wounds. They would be the most profound healers on the planet. We're the ones who could make it through the greatest traumas and put themselves back together. They would hold the highest frequencies because not only do they have recognition with the densest and the lowest, they also know how to tap into the highest. So
Hmm.
they have a greater tool set in their box of vibrational assets.
I encourage people that struggle in this area is that many times the reason why you're struggling is that there are probably other parts of your sensory perception that you're not aware of. And
Yes.
they eventually they rub. I mean, it can show up in dreams.
Yes.
They can have,
Shows up as anxiety, it shows up as
yes.
illness, it shows up as so many things. It's just across the board because it goes through the nervous system.
Ooh, well spoken. Let's go on with it. I think
It's what it
it's,
is. It's
yeah.
literally when you can't process psychic energy, which most people aren't even aware it exists, it literally fractures the aura. And when you're powerful and you're filled with light and you can sense things other people can't, you feel things deeper than other people do, that's because you are meant to perceive and meant to feel. You literally came in with these abilities so you could be the watchtower. You could be the lighthouse. You could be the person who could ring the alarm bells first because you're more connected to nature. And our world right now is so broken.
Yeah.
And that's what they feel. And they need to understand it's not them, it's the world.
Boy, and here's the conundrum. And, I weep for humanity. I literally times I am weeping because if something doesn't change, and I mean this profoundly, if something doesn't change, it's not like it was in times past. There's something physically different now. Yeah. We're seeing the effects. I'm keeping a log, and I'm going to do one of the Steiger perspectives. Might have you come on to see about having you come on the radio show. This is what I am collecting. The incidences of normal people suddenly acting completely irrational, if not developing actual physical psychosis.
I'm seeing it all the time.
And it's happening so more frequently.
And Wayne, I do. I think it's from the drugs, and I think that they're hitting people with frequencies, and these frequencies activate something inside their body that the people who have been on the drugs, for whatever reason, somehow I think they've got something within them that allows this frequency to really affect them. It affects them stronger.
Well, I'll check into it. I'm finding, though, stories, for instance, Philippines, China, Russia, that these are people in their 50s, 40s. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's drugs related, but I do think it's frequency related.
I
I really do.
This, but years ago, I heard about a program that was installed into the smartphones called Archangel, and it could kill you with the frequency.
Well, I think that's been, I don't know if it could. Well, smartphones today, listen, they're the biggest spy devices that's there. I mean, I read the article, the IRS is going to start tracking us through our cell phones.
Oh, absolutely. They probably already are. That's just a public announcement for what they've been doing for a while.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
What? And, it's indicative of this prison. I mean, is that the solution? I mean, I don't know. The question I ask myself, is it impossible for humanity to solve its problems?
I think it always will be if people don't come together as a community, and they need to stop looking towards massive leaders to run things, because obviously that has not worked out well in any timeline that we look at. So there has to be some kind of a shift in how we are running our own system, because the system is failing. The money's failing. Everything's failing right now. Religion's breaking down. Everything's falling apart.
Religion is just absolutely. And, I tell you, I am really concerned with the homeless population. It is just, it doesn't make sense to me. It does not make sense to me why this has become a pandemic. Is exactly what Ben Carson, who is the head of HUD, said it is. And I'm asking myself, why is it that we can't solve something so basic as to shelter people?
Well, the thing is the money that they spent on one bailout with the Obama regime, that would have bought every single person in the United States a home free and clear.
It would have, yeah.
So with that, all we need to do is find out where all this money is and allocate some money to, like I say, these 3D printing dome houses. Yeah, they're small, but you know what? At least it's shelter.
Well, and listen, and the problem is,
be done, but I just don't know if anybody will do it.
Well, you don't have, there are no honest bureaucrats. Every city government is corrupt. Every United States, the federal government is corrupt. And this is the problem. We've got people who feed off the misery of others and steal the money that should be going to help solve this problem. These bastards are nothing but, they're worse than thieves. I mean, I wish we had the guillotine out there. Maybe if the guillotine of a few thieves.
Yeah.
I mean, it's frustrating.
I heard Bush Jr. out of his own mouth say if the human population knew what we had done to them, he said they would drag us out of our homes and lynch us on the nearest pole.
I have
That's
no
his
doubt.
word.
I have
Yeah.
no doubt.
So yeah, obviously it's pretty bad, but like I said, we've allowed these people to be in power. So in all actuality, the responsibility is going to come upon us because there's way more of us.
Oh yeah, yeah, and we get
And we're
we
not
get
doing
lost in
anything
this
about it. Like I said,
political.
I mean, I really only think there's only a few ways we could see monumental change, and that is literally we would have to reallocate a lot of money, and the first thing we'd have to do is start cleaning up our trash.
Yeah, and I mean the problem just becomes, well, now wait a minute. I thought we allocated money, and when you begin to look at it, the United States is right now. This year, we have already spent 1.2 trillion dollars in debt.
Yep.
I haven't seen anything, and I had someone write me and tell me to look into. Are you ready for this, Trina? Human experiments from the homeless. They say people are missing. Children.
I've been Wayne, I've been watching that for over 5 years.
Yeah,
I've been
missing.
seeing hundreds of them that were in Phoenix walking the streets for years and years and years. There's certain ones, they've got certain illnesses that make them stand out, like they dance constantly. There's certain things, and the dancer's gone. There's a lot of them. They're just gone, and
Yeah.
nobody knows where they're at. And then people have said that they took them off on buses and they're gone. They went to FEMA camps.
Well, I'm hearing worse, that they don't return. I had, and I'm thinking to myself, well, we don't know the number of the homeless. It's really just a guess. And I'm thinking, this is getting weird because here I thought a caring nation, a
Well, not only
nation that's
that,
known for its morality, which we have none.
yeah, and they just made laws that if you feed homeless people, they'll throw you in jail.
You know what? I also found out the CEO of one of the largest healthcare systems, I think in the Pittsburgh area, had child pornography on his computer. He got probation. Yeah,
Oh,
because he
my.
was such a giver to the community.
Yeah, he sure was a giver to the
It
community.
appears in these homeless camps that the sex traffickers that are running abundant in the pedophile circles.
Yeah.
They're forgotten people.
It's not only that, I see that that's why I couldn't do social work. I saw what was going on 20 years ago and I saw where it was going. And now I know why they were doing what they were doing.
Because there's absolutely no effort taking place. I mean, all I see is rhetoric. I mean, California, you should be ashamed of yourself, you hypocrites out there. Governor Newsom, you hypocrite. You are a fraud. That whole government of California is a fraud. You're spending billions of dollars, but yet your homeless population is continuing to explode.
Yep.
I don't see the mayor living out on the streets of any of these cities. Do you?
No.
No, because why? They got a pension.
Yeah. And they'll just sign another bill, for a smart car or something. And then all these people won't have any jobs and they'll put putting more people out of work so they can get the money on the contract. And they don't care what it does to us.
You've got politicians that are loco crazy in the head that think that sovereignty is somehow bad, but yet we seem to house the illegals coming over here, but we don't house our very own citizens.
Oh, I know that's true because I've seen paychecks from the immigrants that got into Arizona.
All you have to do is just go online to the Social Human Service Administration.
Yeah, and then I see the Social Security of our grandparents who fought the wars and who paid, 65 years into the tax systems, and they're getting $600 a month.
Yeah. I mean, let's just be honest, folks. It's time to take off the foo-foo and, all the other things, because all of our positiveness is for naught. Because I'll tell you what, if you're homeless, you're living in a tent made out of cardboard in Los Angeles, don't tell them about all your positive thoughts. It doesn't work. And that's what, it's called activism. I see people marching about climate change, which is a total hype. I mean, Earth is climate change. I don't
It
see
goes in
them.
cycles. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see them out there marching on the let's help the homeless.
Nope.
Let's stop the exploitation of homeless children.
Or let's have a discussion on the bumblebee just went on the extinct endangered species list, I think 3 days ago.
I mean, this is
Talk about
nuts.
what's going to happen if the bees die.
Yeah, I mean, I like what the UN said. Well, the models aren't quite right. Yeah, we know that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I keep on thinking we're supposed to be so intelligent.
No.
We can go to the moon, I don't know. But Trina, we can't seem to solve the basic problems of humanity.
No, it's because everything's been taught to go outside. We look for the politicians to rescue us and save us and make good plans. No, it's not. It needs to come from the people. It's got to come from, we got to go back to the roots. We got to get back to the lower, you got to go back to the soil, y'all. It's like we got to go back to the roots.
I get up early. I get up about 4 o'clock typically, if I'm not up earlier than that. And I was outside just meditating, and my life has been a wonderful life. It's had hardships beyond measure, but it's been a marvelous life. And I hope to have a little bit more of it. But when I was on the street, Trina, I was 15 years old. And there was no government agency, wasn't no one out there wondering how Wayne Steiger was doing. Just wasn't happening. But you know what did happen? There was a community. Yeah. We were in the social revolution of the late 60s going into the early 70s. This was 1970, by the way. Yeah. And I never was harmed. Yeah. I was never molested. I really didn't go hungry. Now, I went without a place to sleep for a few times, right. But I never felt, there was just this camaraderie. Yeah.
Yeah.
It seemed to have lost.
Now it's so drug filled and mental illness filled. Yeah. And literally, I mean, I see, it seems like the more away from being responsible for our own families and taking care, it's like none of us take care of our parents anymore. They get sent off to homes. Everything's so different. And with all of that, I think that there's a consequence for that. And I think we're seeing the consequences of it now.
We are. I could tell you stories of children whose parents are in these nursing homes that have publicly stated they'd rather see their parents dead because they want the money.
Yeah. Yep.
What?
Yep.
I mean, seriously. I'm sitting here and I'm trying to think, what could we do as a community? I don't know. I mean, the problem is so overwhelming.
It is, but it's the weirdest thing. It's like the thing that gives me the greatest hope is Dr. Emoto's work. When I saw the power of what thought can do to water, because everything is water. And if we can shift the vibration and heal the water, it would heal the world.
Okay, I see that. But I'm trying to say, what could we begin to do physically? I mean, within our cities? I don't know. I mean, listen, there's a lot in our community that are it's a challenge for them each month to survive.
I know. And that's what I mean. When we think about it, when we think about the powers that be and how they've gotten into be and how they're staying in power, we know that this has all been done with magic.
Ooh.
And spells and indoctrination and information and media and fairy tales and alphabets and all of it. So, we look at the programs of the flesh and we look at the issue of the planet, because the planet is a reflection of our body and our mental state. So the programs that we've had installed into our subconscious are brutal and they're destructive and they're greedy and they're selfish and they're ego based and it's all about me and it's a selfie world and all of this stuff has been done on purpose. So it only takes one person that can awaken their own inner power and focus on a better vibration. And that one person can override a million who are sleeping. So,
As you were talking, the thought hit me. What if we became proficient in magic, scrying, learning the tarot, finding out these tools that are to us, and hear me out on this. Imagine if we were to disperse into cities in, small groups where we could find those amongst the homeless who would be interested in learning such the arts.
It is so funny, Wayne. I've seen the homeless ones. I've seen some of them. Those are the healers. I've seen them.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I saw a homeless guy one time light up a light bulb in his hand. I mean, I've seen crazy things.
And this is where you would find them. I mean, yes. I was considered a hippie.
Yeah.
But you know what I found out about hippies? These people were not from this planet. Many that I met with.
Yes.
They taught us things.
They're highly evolved beings.
Yeah.
Yes. They can't conform in the systems. And see, they're showing us the way. And instead of joining with them, we have been shown and taught to not only, condemn and judge them. Now we're even being taught that if you help them, you get risk of being thrown in prison.
Oh yeah, there's
that's the first thing I would say is I think that we need to come together to start working on changing some laws that have been put into place with growing food and helping our fellow brothers and sisters.
Well, I'm just going to put the call out to all witches, all pagans, all covens, those
all Christians, all Muslims, all everybody.
Well, they're not going to accept us in that one. They're not going to do that. But
probably not. But hey, we can try.
Okay, but I want to talk specifically to the enlightened community. Typically, if you're buried into religion, you're going to be a pain in our ass. So I'm not to dispute that, but I'm putting the call out to all the pagans, the Gnostics. Listen, folks, we could begin a movement in every city around the world where we would put in groups of threes that would go into these homeless areas, these encampments, and begin to seek out those who are really us.
Yeah.
And teach them.
There's so many of them there, Wayne. So many. So I have seen the ones that do that are usually, they're the most powerful. One who I came into contact with, man, this guy, he can become anything.
Well, imagine empowering these people. I mean, the universe is not lacking. I tell people this all the time, folks, except for what we've put out on satellites, all the gold is still here.
Yeah.
I've never seen a movement of, again, the pagan community, Gnostics, who have, many different backgrounds, but coming together, the witches and the magicians, the great wizards, and begin to do this in a way that, because obviously the last 10,000 years hasn't solved our problems. No, they haven't. I wish so much that my religion would have delivered, but that's the problem. It is a religion, not a solution.
Yeah. And it's so funny. I see when we come together and we literally can manifest miraculous things, because you know as well as I do, Wayne, that's very doable. It's not that
happens all the time.
Happens all the time.
Yeah.
So what I think that's the shift is because they'll see that my brothers and sisters have the power, not the system,
Yeah.
not this, not that. It's us. It's us. And when we come together, man, that is very powerful.
We're going to be studying more about scrying and how to use black mirrors. But the point is, the thing that the elite for centuries used black mirror gazing for was to find answers.
You know what's so funny? Think about it, Wayne. If we shifted the frequency of all the water on the planet, there's a lot of people on this planet that maybe are sitting at a very low, dark, really dense frequencies. It's so funny because I've always saw that we were the antivirus, like we were the
We
remedy.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
It's
are.
so funny because, I mean, if we deliver a very positive, loving, original code frequency into the water, that means it would reawaken our original codes within us. And I don't think that would work out so well for the powers that used to be, because I have a feeling it would literally break them down somehow physically.
All right. Imagine, in the homeless community, those who would know how to change the vibration, the makeup of the water.
Mhm.
Imagine having them go through a complete encampment, changing the vibration of the water alone.
Yeah, and all they'd need to do is bring one bottle, and they could put one drop into everybody else's vessel, and it could have trained.
I'm telling you, it's that now. I'm
Mhm.
sure that probably some health official would say, well, that's unhealthy. Yeah. We all know about the stories, but that is a brilliant idea.
Yeah, I know people right now that restructure water, and it literally changes the molecular structure of it and turns it back into like living water. You can see light in it.
Well, Franz Barden on the initiation into Hermetics spends a great deal of time that all initiates, you should learn this technique. I mean, I'm drinking tea. The fact that I can lay my hands above the tea as it's steaming, and I can feel, and what I actually do is just see the energy of my hand reversing back into the water. It changes the frequency.
Does it change the taste and
Yeah, it
everything? Yeah,
does.
that's why
And
it's
then I
like,
want to
Jesus
dance.
would say, bless your food.
Yeah.
Bless your food. Like seriously, put your hands on your food, over your food, because it literally changes the structure.
Yeah.
For reals. I mean, I've literally seen the photography that measures heat, the Krillian, where they'll take a piece of food and it's normal, and then they'll bless food and then take a picture of it, and it's filled with light.
Well, if our auras, in which we have them,
Yeah.
does in fact, when I pick this cup up, my aura is actually embracing the fabric, the molecules of this container.
Yeah, it's not even really solid.
No,
It's
there's
energy.
nothing solid.
Yeah, it's
It's an
energy.
illusion.
Yeah.
But someone says, yeah, well, you step out in front of a car and say, I've done that. But yes, I
Yeah.
understand it. It's
Right.
that the inertia is meeting matter that, anyway.
Our flesh is energy too, and one can harm another energetically. Yeah,
Yes.
energetically.
And
Yes.
Julianne Payne is right. It changes the molecule of the structures. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. If we all like seriously focused on healing the oceans and getting the animals not sick, because my gut instinct says it starts with Earth. It
I would
literally is
agree.
going to have to start with Earth.
Well, we got a lot of work to do because,
Oh yeah.
we sit here and we talk about this, but again, I'll just put the challenge in. Listen, I think it's maybe time that if we bring a counter thought into the equation, and let's bring out, these practices, the divinations, the seeing,
You
the
know,
other things. Go ahead, Trina.
it seems like, one of the main things is like they're getting everybody sick.
Yeah.
It's like, and all the medicines and all the poison going into the waters. It's like, they always told me, chunk it up, Trina, chunk it up, make it big, make it bigger. So that's why they kept educating me with this whole water thing, because water's in everything. It's in our bodies, it's in the streams, it's everything is made of water, everything. And if they had 30 monks over 30 days pray and completely make the most toxic water in the world drinkable just by saying thank you. Could you imagine what we could do to the frequency of the earth if we healed the water?
Well, it's amazing you said that, because actually saying thank you, now I say thank you to the infinite being
Me
all
too.
the time. I give it thanks for my consciousness.
Yeah.
But saying thank you is the highest form of praise that
Yes.
a mind can do.
Gratitude.
Yeah.
Yep. Gratitude. It's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
It is transformative like liquid gold.
That it be.
Mm-hmm.
I try to go out and physically do something for unbeknownst to others that they'll never know about. And while I'm doing it, it's exactly what I'm doing is that the whole time it's what I'm speaking is the intention of favor be upon them.
Wade, I'm reading a book right now, and it
Yeah.
talks about those small little random acts of kindness. And it was saying that when you go to the higher realms, you go according to your vibration. But they
Yeah.
were saying that your house is a reflection of the good that you brought with you. So all of those random acts of kindness, all those acts of favor, all of that you're doing, it's like you're gonna have a mansion.
Well, come on over. I'll make sure that we can everybody, there's a party at my mansion. Just don't bring anything. You're going to get
Right,
in, you're going to
right.
get bathed in favor, and then from there have a good time.
Absolutely. I'm like, you are just gonna have a big O mansion.
Oh man. Yeah, we'll definitely have Wayne's World going. Who knows, maybe you might get Mike Myers to join us, huh?
Absolutely. Oh, he's so funny. Oh, my kids would love it.
I watched that the other day.
Really?
Again, yes, and it just cracks me up. I mean, Dana Carvey is, anyway. Uh, hey, listen, it made my name famous. There you go.
Absolutely.
Oh, but
Absolutely.
and that might be the solution, though. Is really, it's the old expression the Chinese teach that the a journey of 1,000 miles always starts with one step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what they told me. They said, they said the world is going to be so overwhelmed by the problems. And they're like, keep it simple, stupid. Kiss, keep it
Hmm.
simple. Seriously, they would tell me this over and over again. They're like, you want to fix the world, you will fix the water.
I keep on thinking that, maybe this could be a opportunity again for, I think those who have been maligned by the indoctrination of the Western ideologies. I just think that, if you're a pagan, if you have a witch coven, email me. I think this is something that, we could really do by making a difference. I just get so frustrated not to be able to do something.
Me too. And that was like, like somehow, like I really think the Lord is my spirit guide or my
Yeah.
oversoul.
Yeah.
So he would always tell me that he was like, he told me I was going to get frustrated because it was going to appear so big. And that's why he said, you got to think bigger than the situation you see. And that's why he
Hmm.
would show me the connection with the water. He said, it's in everything.
Water makes sense. I mean, it really does. The food is poison. I mean,
Every
I'm going to do a show, guy, ladies and gentlemen, on Soylent Green, because I think we're coming to that. It sounds gross, I know, but uh, but food is something as a whole. But water has active living molecules.
Yeah, and Wayne, there's people that know how to make like the Ellison water and
Hmm.
restructure water because, like, I've always known it's like you're going to hit this from every angle with crystals, with
Yeah.
copper tube that you run the water through copper and it spins it and bends it at certain angles and it creates a new molecular structure. And I literally see the water, it like sparkles like diamonds. It's got light in it.
That's cool. I can see
And
that.
I've seen that with the restructured water. I put it in a clear vessel and then I spin it. And then when you hold it in the sun, you can literally see light shooting out of the water. Little tiny, little tiny, little tiny little sparkles. And they reflect light. It's beautiful.
I
I've
bet that
actually,
is. Well, we found out now that in the universe, water is the most abundant substance.
I think space is water. It's
I
just in
think
a
it may
different
be.
form. I
Yeah.
think it is. I think it's in a plasma energetic form of water, but I think it's water.
I think that, when you think about dark matter, they keep on trying to find the wimps, the imps, and everything else. But what if it is? Maybe we're just involved in a different form of what?
It's just like our water can be so many things:
Yeah.
mist, steam, vapor, ice. It can be so many things. It's in our bodies. It's in every single thing.
Hey,
It can
Trina,
be anything. So that has to be water too. Just where it's a kind we don't understand.
I agree. And you
It
know
has to
what?
be because everything is water. Everything.
I can walk on water.
Yeah.
I do it every year.
Right on.
It
Where?
it right here,
I want to
right in
walk.
my, yeah, it's called ice.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, come
I want
on.
to walk on the
Wait
I
a
want to
minute.
walk on
That's
the
walking on water,
I want to
though.
walk on the hot stuff because I think we can, Wayne. I
I
do.
think we can.
If you can walk on coals of fire, you could walk on
Yes.
water. It has
Yeah.
to be. It's
Yeah.
about belief.
Well,
And
I
if
just
enough
take
of
the
us are
first little
there,
step.
yeah, we believe it, we'll see it. I know it.
Well, actually, I think I may have mastered twice because I actually surf. So, I was
Yeah.
literally surfing is a type of walking on water.
Yes, it is.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yep.
High five for
You're
that.
literally, I see when surfing, I see dancing on water.
Ooh, far out, babe.
Dancing. You're dancing on water. That's what I
Man,
see with surfing.
man, I'll tell you,
Dancing.
you're the type of a girl that we would have loved to have seen on the beach back in the day.
And I was
That's
in the
all I
desert.
got to say.
Yep, and I was in the desert on a dirt bike.
I know you're in the freaking desert. It's like, okay. But, and I'm also thinking that, I've climbed mountains where, we climbed right through the clouds.
Oh wow.
Isn't that kind of like walking on water?
Kind of like walking in the clouds too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But like I said, I've literally seen people walk on fire and it don't burn them. I've seen people bend steel with the soft part of their throat. I've seen some amazing things. I've seen healings. I've seen miraculous healings. I mean, like wow healings. So yeah, with seeing all that stuff, I know it's possible. And then learning about what happens to water when you tell it thank you, man. There's something big about this.
It may be that it's not impossible. Think about that. If we could just teach people just to say thank you.
That's what I mean. And you know what else they told me? They said, if you could do this, they says, this would include so many people that would have never been included because there's no religion associated with water.
Yeah, there's no belief.
There's no God associated with it. It's just water. And then people have no problem with thank you. People have all kinds of weird associations with love. So they're like, don't even go there. Just gratitude.
Now you're trying to trick me with love?
Yeah. So they're like, keep it simple. I'm like, okay, keep it simple.
I like this. I mean, two simple words. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
I mean, it's full of the most positive intent of gratitude.
Yeah, because when you really feel thank you for something, you feel love.
Yeah.
It's automatic.
And I'm hearing the song, I just want to thank you for letting be my friend. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, folks, I love music. It's in my soul. What can I say?
And thank God. And it's like that's when God showed me when we came out of source, that was sound.
Sound, yeah.
Music. Yeah, you are your own music.
And I mean, the way I look at it, if memories are what propel us in the afterlife, oh man, I got a jukebox full, baby.
Absolutely.
I like this, Trina. This is positive. You see, it to me, it's achievable because if we started a campaign, folks, we could make this viral. Go on your Facebook page. If you've got that, go on Twitter and Instagram. Start spreading it out. Let's start doing something viral. Let's just start doing the thank you challenge.
Yeah.
And all it is no matter what your condition, if you're a homeless, if you're, no matter what it is,
Everybody.
we could just simply teach them to say thank you.
Yeah.
I mean,
Change the world, change the water. Simply tell it thank you.
thank you.
That's it.
Wow. And you know, fresh water is becoming
Scarce.
scarce. Yes. Yes. If
Man.
we've done stories on this, and I'm going to have Allison back on that water in the cities today are contaminated with pharmaceuticals.
Oh my God, so bad. So bad.
I mean, you can grow a pair of breasts, guys.
Yep.
There's that much estrogen in it.
And not only that, arsenic and
yeah.
What's the one for schizophrenia? Lithium.
Yep. Antidepressants.
Oh man, there's a whole laundry list.
I mean, they can't filter it out.
Nope.
So all the people peeing every day that are popping the pills, that's where it's going. I know, Wayne, that was.
That's what I'm saying. Wayne, the only way to fix this is to transmute the water.
I love this, Trina.
The water is by saying thank you. Thank you for everything you give me, including the body I live in.
Wow. You know, if we incorporated that into the crystal network.
Yeah, because crystals are water. It's a different form of water. They showed me that crystals are liquid living light.
You know.
And I think they're water too. It's another kind of water. And that's why it's conscious, and that's why it's programmable, because it's water.
Yeah. You know, thank you, Lisa, by the way. You know, when you look at these beautiful, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is making sense. I mean, it's connecting the dots.
Yes. We're here to change the world, Wayne. I promise.
I'm telling you. One molecule at a time.
Yes.
Yes.
And water, it naturally goes to the highest vibration.
It does.
It trains. Yeah. So you can take one drop of restructured positive light-filled water, and it'll affect 1 million drops. Then they'll all go to the light with that one drop of water. That's a better, higher molecular expression of vibration, because water likes to heal.
This is the highest gnosis I know. This is knowledge.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Trina, this is just far out.
Yeah, it's all about the water.
Well, let's continue to push this forward. I listen, I know that Karen, and there is a sign up, I think, isn't there somewhere where people can sign up?
Yes, she just started the website, and she made more changes and updates today, and she's going to have right now it's going through Queen of Quartz.
Okay.
But she's going to start a separate crystal network as well, website. So that's going to be starting very, very soon.
We'll get that. We'll promote that. And I think that we really, I can't think of better.
You guys be a part of this. Get a crystal, because that's a tangible, physical anchoring tool for us all to connect with on the physical, and it will help us to connect in our astral.
And is Karen still giving away crystals? I don't know.
I think she is. To anybody who asks to receive one. Yes.
So, folks, I mean, you can't make it much better than I know she pays for the shipping on that. I mean,
if you could, send her $5 or whatever just for shipping, that would be great. Because I mean, she's sending out a lot of crystals, guys, on her own dime. Anybody who can afford to send her a little thank you for sending out all these crystals, that would be greatly appreciated.
Good. And Truth in Me says, we did a live stream to heal the water. Can we do a healing of the water? I think so, Truth in Me. Absolutely. This is a community. I just do teaching in here until y'all come up with these where we can get everyone on and discuss this. We can become an activist group here and really begin to do some serious changing.
And like I said, this is about reconnecting to Earth.
Yeah, it is.
That's, I think, what's gotten us into trouble. We've gotten away from Earth, and that's gotten us away from community, and that's gotten us away from family, and that's gotten us head faced into the black mirrors all day. And It's time to reconnect with nature
He's
and
sucking my brain
water.
out, man.
Water. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I
It's
think
like-
that's the objective.
I think it
Right?
is.
This really is powerful, and this really could cause some serious change in the
I think it
world.
could, because
Yeah.
right now it's like the suck vac,
Yes.
Man, you're sucking my brains out, man.
And our souls.
And I think it's really the soul. You
Yeah.
can't, I mean,
I do
it
too.
truly is sucking us. As I heard in one particular movie, it just sucks the joy right out of the room.
Yeah, soul suckers.
I
Yeah.
mean, what
totally.
a soul sucker.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, Miss Trina, our hour just flew by.
It does. It does. Yeah,
All
Blaine, I
right.
think we're gonna make some magic.
I think we are.
Yeah. I think that's why we came. And I think
Yeah.
that's why we're here now. I think it's about timing. And
Mhm.
I think it's time.
I can see tens of thousands, if not millions, of lights coming together on this, and that's the light is the light of our soul. So,
Yeah, and it's such an
David
easy
Barry
thing.
has a sign up on here. I'll make sure to see it. Hello, Peter West. How are you doing? I haven't seen you in a while, my friend. Good to see you back. Missed a lot of people out there. I mean, we seen some people I know. I haven't seen Sherry in a while. There's just been others, and we all think of you. And all of that's in this community, we just thank you so much.
No.
And,
Yes.
yeah.
It isn't what it is without them.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, it would just be you
Yeah.
and I talking.
It's like, yeah, we're two little heartbeats in a whole beautiful
Yeah.
ocean of heartbeats. And
Yeah.
that heartbeat is so powerful when we are together with one beating heart. And when we focus on the same thing, the same vibration, which gratitude is usually pretty easy for people to match on. It is. It's a friendly vibration that people can have coercion with. So when we all come together, and even if it's not at the same time, when we're focusing on a crystalline network, a grid that we're all connected together through the earth and through the mineral grids of the earth and the planet and the soil and the sun and all of it, when we connect fully like that with a similar frequency, our hearts all beat the same drum at the same moment.
Well, that's powerful right there.
And it's true.
All right, folks. I hope it was fun for you, informative, stimulating, all the rest of it that you can add to it. Miss Trina, thank you. Look forward to seeing you next week. Anything coming up on this week for you?
Just lots of work and videos, and I think Brian Saturday night.
Okay.
Yep.
Over there on Milky Way Messenger. Excellent.
Trinity of Truth.
That was it. Trinity of Truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Usually always three, me, Kent, and Brian.
Yeah, the TITs.
Yeah.
I like that. Wait, wait.
That's it.
All right, folks, have yourself a good one. Trina, stay with me. We'll talk to you later, folks. That did